All right, guys, so we're going to continue with our notes. And yesterday we went over the different formulas. So we talked about point slope, which is here. We talked about slope intercept. We also talked about standard form. So these are currently in the order in which you need to solve your problems. So we did just point slope, then we did point slope into slope intercept. Now sometimes we have to go from slope intercept and take it one step farther, and we need to put everything into standard form. And if you remember, standard form is ax plus by equals c. So that just means that your x and your y are on the same side, and your c is alone by itself. So the other thing that we talked about yesterday is in order to solve these, you must do them in order, which means I have to go through each step. So step 1 is going to be point slope. Step 2 is going to be slope intercept. And step 3 will be standard form, which we will do right now. So remember that you need to go through each one of these steps in order to get to where you need to be. So you can't just jump from, having your M and your point here and get right to standard form. You have to go to step 1 first. So if I'm talking about step 1 first, that means I have, let me see if I can add these in here. Y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. Okay, so that is your point slope. So in order to do that, I have my m right here. I have my point. They gave it to you, and you know that if I am labeling a point, first one is x, second one is y. So if I go to plug this in, make my font a little bigger here. I'm going to have y minus 4 equals 1/2 parentheses x minus, and my x is 2. Okay, so right now, there's nothing here to really simplify. So I've put this into point slope. This is point slope formula right here. Now I need to go to step 2. I'm going to change my numbers here. So now I want to go to slope intercept. So if I go to slope intercept, now I'm going to the second step here, which means I need to distribute and I need to simplify. So my first thing I'm going to do is distribute my 1/2. So I'm going to bring down my y minus 4 equals, and now I have 1/2 x and 1/2 times -2 gives me -1. I still can simplify this because I need to get into slope intercept, which means I need to go into y equals mx plus b. So here I need to subtract or add that 4 because it's a -4. So when I add 4, do it to both sides. That's going to leave me with y on this side, 1/2 x and -1 plus 4 gives me plus 3. So now I'm in slope intercept. I'm in that y equals mx plus b. However, the directions say they want me to get to standard form, which means I need to take this one step farther. So in order to get into standard form, excuse me while I get my colors all situated here. In order to get into standard form, which is ax plus by equals c. Move this box up a little bit. I need to move this x, 1/2 x, to the other side. So to do that, I'm going to subtract my 1/2 x. Do my fancy fractions here. From both sides. And now I can rearrange this. So once I've subtracted my 1/2 x, sorry, I forgot my x, guys. Now I have a negative 1/2 x plus y equals 3. So now I'm almost in standard form because I have my x and my y on the same side. But if I'm really thinking back to when we talked about linear equations and standard form, one of the rules for standard form means that you can't have any fractions or a negative as x. So if I'm putting this in my true standard form, I need to get rid of this fraction and this negative. So in order to get rid of a fraction, we always tell you guys to multiply by the denominator, and we want to multiply everything by the denominator and that negative sign so we can kill two birds here with one stone. So if I multiply everything by -2, I am left with, these two cancel out, so does my negative. So I have 1x minus 2y equals positive 6. And now you're in standard form. So this is what we were looking for. Now it's in standard form. So this is a lot of work. I understand that. So having this little cheat sheet right next to you, that's going to be very important so that you can remember all the steps you need to take and what it needs to actually look like when you get to the end. We will fill out a little graph to kind of help you guys navigate these problems. But let's try another one. So first step, again, we need to do point slope. So let's color coordinate again. Here we got our point slope, which is y minus y1 equals m, x minus x1. So if I'm doing my y minus, and we have -5 in y, equals my slope, which is -1/2. Let's just do this a little faster. X minus 4. Okay, so this is pretty much in point slope. I'm just going to make this look a little better. And instead of having my negative, I'm going to change that to my +5. And I still have -1/2. And I have x minus 4. Okay, so that's my first step. That was point slope. And now I need to go to my second step, which is going to be slope-intercept form. So if I go to slope-intercept form, I need to get that y by itself. So in order to get my y by itself, I'm going to subtract 5. Oh, no, Miss Wetzel. First thing you want to do is distribute. See, I'm seeing if you guys are paying attention. So I have y plus 5 equals, now I have -1/2 x, and -1/2 times a -4 gives me a +2. Now I can go ahead and move that 5 so that I can get y alone, and I'm going to add it to the other side. So I have y equals -1/2 x plus 7. So now in this form, I'm in slope-intercept. This was step 2. But the directions, because they're telling me we want you to go to standard form, we unfortunately have to take it to that third step. So in order to do that, I need to get my x and my y on the same side. So I'm going to add my 1/2 x, since it's a -1/2 x, and put it to the other side. So now I have 1/2 x plus y equals 7. So again, just like this problem, we have those rules that we have to follow for standard form, which means we can't have a fraction as x or y. So again, in order to get rid of a fraction, we're going to multiply everything by the denominator, which is 2. So when I multiply everything by 2, my 2's here cancel out. I'm left with 1x plus 2y equals 14. And that is my equation in standard form. Okay, so it follows all the rules. We have my x and my y on the same side. Number 8 is done. We went through all 3 steps. All right, so number 9. Again, we want to start with point slope. So we're going to do y minus 4 equals -3 x minus 0. There's nothing here to really simplify, so right off the bat, you are in point slope formula. So I can jump to my next, which is slope intercept. So in order to do this, first thing I want to do is distribute that -3. So when I do that, bring down my y minus 4, I have -3x, and -3 times -0 is just 0. So I need to get my y alone. In order to do that, I will add 4 to both sides. And when I rewrite this, I have y equals 3x plus 4. This is now in slope intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. Now we need to go into standard form. So we're taking it that one step farther, which means in order to get x and y on the same side, I want to subtract my 3x and move it over with my y. When I do that, I have a -3x now, plus y equals 4. So again, I'm set up right. I have my x and my y on the right sides, but one of those pesky rules for standard form means that you can't have x be negative. So in order to get rid of that negative sign, I'm going to multiply everything by -1. So when I do that, all of my signs will change, and I'll be left with positive 3x minus y equals -4. And that is your equation in standard form. Okay, so these are a lot of work. You have to go through all of those steps in order to get here. Unfortunately, there is no cheat sheet way to make it all the way to the bottom without going through all of the steps. So you guys are going to go ahead and fill in your notes now, and then we're going to work on some of these example problems together.